Elon's ears couldn't hear the screams in the control room. His eyes were fixed on the flames engulfing the Starship's engines behind the glass. 7, 6, 5. Suddenly, an explosion. Massive metal debris scattered into the sky. Alarms began to blare. Catastrophic pressure loss. Emergency. As engineers scrambled in panic, Elon burst forward, barking orders. Engage the backup valve. Open the vent ports now. But it was too late. A second explosion shook the platform. Elon was violently thrown to the ground. Hot metal fragments pierced his face. Blood dripped from his chin. Dazed from the blast, Elon staggered to his feet. One of the engineers grabbed his arm. "Mr. Musk, we need to evacuate." "Shut up!" Elon shoved him away harshly. "Why did we fail?" Another answered shakily. "There was a methane leak. We warned you, but you didn't listen." Elon's eyes burned with fury. "We lost the rocket meant for Mars because of a damn leak." At that moment, his phone buzzed in his pocket. A message from Kimball. "Dad's in the hospital. His last wish is to see you." Elon's fists clenched. "God damn it. God damn it." As Elon paced down the hospital hallway, counting his steps, the pale yellow walls transported him back to the small house of his childhood. His father's voice echoed in his ears. "Instead of wasting time on these things, you'd be better off focusing on math problems." His hands trembled. How many years had it been since that day he first tried to build a rocket? How many explosions? How many failures? When he reached the door, he saw Errol's pallid face. His father, bathed in the midday sun streaming through the window, looked almost translucent. The erratic beeping of the monitors shattered the room's silence. "You came!" Errol's voice was frailer than Elon remembered. "So you still care?" Elon sank into the hard plastic chair beside the bed. "I just got Kimball's message. Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Errol crumpled the edge of the blanket between his fingers. "You had important things to do. Your spaceships, your electric cars." A coughing fit seized him. Elon instinctively reached out, but his father waved him off. "I'm not dying. Not yet." On the TV mounted in the corner, a news channel replayed footage of the Starship explosion. Errol gave a weak smile as he watched. Still the same Elon. Trying to do everything yourself. Elon's eyes burned. "You never believed in me. Not once." Errol sank deeper into the pillow. "You're wrong, son. I was just afraid." With a trembling hand, he reached into his pocket and pulled out a small rusted piece of metal. "Remember this?" Elon's breath caught. It was a fragment from the first rocket he'd built at 12. "You kept this all these years?" "Every day." Errol's eyes grew misty. "Because that day in the yard when I saw your stubborn refusal to quit, I realized you do all the things I never had the courage to." A lump rose in Elon's throat. His father wore an expression he'd never seen before. Regret. And maybe pride. "Dad," I go. Errol waved his hand, but this time gently. "Finish that damn rocket. And someday," he took a shaky breath, "someday give me stories to tell my grandchildren, stories of the stars." Elon stood, blinking back tears. As he reached the door, his father's final words followed him. "And Elon, this time, accept help. We're all broken pieces. The trick is learning to hold them together." Out in the hallway, Elon's phone buzzed. A message from Gwen glowed on the screen. "Found the flaw. We can fix this." This time, Musk would trust his team. Because, just as his father said, he'd build something whole from the broken pieces. The engineers examined the new design Elon had worked on all night. The data flashing across the screens was different this time. Elon stepped into the center of the team. "This time, we do it together. I need every one of your ideas. Because the road to Mars isn't built by a single mind. It's paved by our collective dream." A young engineer raised his hand. "But what if we fail?" Elon pulled the broken fragment his father had given him from his pocket. "Look at this. This is the wreckage of the first rocket I built when I was 12. It blew up 3 times. On the 4th, it reached the sky." His gaze swept over the team. So my question is, are you ready for the fourth attempt? Suddenly, the hangar roared with shouts of yes. In the control room, Elon stared at a photo of his father's empty hospital bed. Errol had passed quietly the night before, but the broken piece he'd left behind was now mounted inside Starship's cockpit. Kimball's voice crackled over the comms. Do you think he died disappointed in you? Elon didn't wipe the tears from his eyes as he answered, No, brother. He was always proud. I was just too late to see it. Meanwhile, the tension in the control room was thick enough to cut with a knife. Elon focused on the final system reports blinking across the screens. They now knew the cause of the failed launch a week earlier. A sea off the turbopump leak. Methane fuel had seeped through a faulty seal, one that failed under cryogenic expansion, triggering the first explosion. T-minus 7 seconds. Main engine ignition sequence initiated. Elon's fingers gripped the edge of the console until his knuckles turned white. This time, everything was different. New titanium, alloy seals flexible even at minus 100, and 96 degrees Celsius pressure sensor array next-gen scanners sampling 1,000 times per second. Emergency. Shutdown system now engaging in just 0.3 seconds. E-minus 3 seconds. Raptor engines at full thrust. Then, suddenly, a red alert flashed on one of the screens. TP4 pressure surge. A young engineer screamed, It's happening again. Elon's eyes locked onto his father's final words from the hospital bed. Don't wait for perfect. Just keep going. In a split-second decision, he barked. We are not aborting. Manual override. Reroute TP4 to secondary circuits. Engineers exchanged stunned glances. This wasn't in the protocol. It was a gamble. Yet no one objected. Keyboards clattered like gunfire. TP4 bypassed. Backup loop active. Pressure stabilizing. Then, one ignition. With a ground-shaking roar from 33 Raptor engines, Starship tore free of the launch pad. It wobbled slightly in the first 100 meters before flight computers corrected its trajectory. As the rocket carved a fiery arc across the sky, the control room erupted in thunderous applause. Elon's gaze flickered between the photo of his father's empty hospital bed and the shattered rocket fragment now embedded in the cockpit. When Kimball squeezed his shoulder, the telemetry screen still glowed green. Max Q cleared. Stage 1 separation confirmed. Preparing orbital insertion. Then a new alert flashed. TP4 BY passes overheating. Elon grinned. Just another problem to solve before re-entry. See, he shouted to his team, you don't need perfection to reach the stars. The broken pieces aren't trash. They're lessons. As Starship pierced the edge of the atmosphere, its fiery contrail blazed like a torch, incinerating every shattered dream left on the ground below. If you liked it, stay tuned for more stories, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments. For more stories, click on the video on your screen right now.